Now we are on to practice test 6 of reading from Road to Isles. So you are aware of the instructions. Let us go to section 1, question uh, which are asked for this content, making an effective complaint. So let us read it. When something goes wrong, it can be difficult to know what to do. The following course of action may help you make a successful complaint. So, making an effective complaint. Know your rights before you complain. Find out your legal rights. The Citizens Advice Bureau CAP is a good source for this kind of information. If possible and practical, talk to the same person you dealt with in the first place. The problem could just be the result of misunderstanding or an honest mistake that might be settled without too much effort. Act now while the facts are fresh in your memory. There may be time limit for making any complaint. So be fair and reasonable when you ask for the situation to be put right. Make your request proportionate to the problem. Collect the evidence, especially any faulty merchandise or parts. Keep a proper trial, that is, all the written records of any transactions, correspondence, receipts, codes, accounts, contracts, etc., while waiting for the issue to be resolved. Then prepare your tactics, means practice what you want to say. Consider talking a support person along in the case of a face to face encounter. Above all, remain composed. Be polite, do not get drawn into heated quarrel. Either withdraw or ask to speak to a higher authority, perhaps a manager or a supervisor. If the matter is still not resolved, write a formal letter or complaint and pass it to the third party, such as a complaint service. The CAB can direct you to the most appropriate service for your complaint and exchange contact details so that other parties involved can get in touch with you to follow up on the matter and so that you can contain them again if necessary. And always obtain the final decision in writing if it was made over the phone or in person. So now no more than 3 words from 1 to 6 making a complaint. Know your legal rights, ask CAP. Speak to the same person, he or she may have made an honest mistake or a mistake that could be easily resolved. Don't delay in case there is a time limit, TM. Don't make unrealistic demands. Keep track of poor quality goods and save all dash until the problem is sorted. Means this is actually correspondence or written until. The third one will be written material. Practice, prepare, and stay calm. Don't argue. It's better to dash or talk to the boss. It's better to the fourth one would be withdraw or talk to the boss or supervisor. As a last resort, you can take your complaint to an outside authority, that is a third party in the content. So make sure everyone concerned has your contact details and they get the resolution in writing always. Now we have another content or text. Let us read it. Identity crime. Identity crime is a generic term used to describe offenses in which someone uses a fabricated or fictitious identity, a manipulated identity, the alteration of one's own identity, or a stolen identity to commit a crime. So the third of these, identity theft, knows no geographical boundaries or is on the increase as more people conduct business and social interactions over the internet. This type of crime produces substantial profits for criminals and cause extensive economic losses to governments, private corporations, and individuals. Much of the money lost by individuals stems from credit card fraud, identity theft, and scams. However, what worries law enforcement agencies the most is how identity crime facilitates serious and organized crime, with distressing effects on society as a whole. Identity crime is a major problem, made more difficult to investigate and solve as the offender can be on one side of the world and the victim on the other. There are some simple steps you can take to reduce the risk of having your personal information stolen or misused. Only give out personal information over the phone or internet if you have initiated the call or the transaction and can verify that the person or organization is legitimate. Never record PIN numbers for bank cards anywhere inside your purse or wallet. Secure your letterbox with a lock and clear your mail regularly. Burn or shred documents with personal information or store them in a secure place. And wipe your computer hard drive if you are selling it. Make sure the virus and security software on your computer or mobile device is up to date and don't use public computers or unsecured wireless hotspot such as those at the library or internet cafes for internet banking. Always check bank and credit card statements for unauthorized transactions and report any discrepancies to the bank promptly. Don't respond to scam emails or letters that promise a surprise or reward if you provide bank account details to the senders to enable them to deposit the money. Always use the most secure setting and keep a tight rein on how much private information you post on publicly accessible networking sites. Remember also that information on the internet can remain accessible even if the original posting is removed. Now, let us try to see whether these statements are true, false, or they're not given in the content we just read. So there are three main kinds of identity theft. This is actually false. Identity theft is becoming more common. This is true. This is the most common one. Individuals lose their money through identity crime through businesses or governments. 9. This is not given. Criminal organizations profit from identity crime. 10. This is true. Identity theft is a global problem. 11. This is again true. One person may be sitting at one side of the globe, the other one on the other end. You should never give personal information over the phone. This is false. Only when you find the other party legitimate you can provide personal information. Now, it is generally safe to do internet banking on computer in large public space. This is contradiction to what is being presented in the content. Once you delete a posting from a social website, it is gone forever. This is again false because it will be there. Now, section 2. Read the text below and answer these questions which are coming up. Making a presentation without props. So when you make a business presentation using PowerPoint or a flip chart, the audience's attention will mostly be on the slides or chart. So when you give a talk without props, the only visual you have is yourself. Obviously, the content is a key part of the presentation and you will work on that until it is word perfect. However, a successful delivery is also governed by your body language. Body language, that is gesture, stance, and facial expression, is a key element in generating interest and building credibility. It helps you connect with your listeners and helps them focus on your message. Your body language with purpose to accentuate key persons or key points of your talk and to project authenticity and enthusiasm. Use eye contact. Quickly establish a close bond by focusing on one person at a time rather than sweeping the audience as a whole. Hand gestures should either be open and neutral, relaxed at both the sides, or defined and strong to intensify what you say. Interestingly, research has shown the gesture is intrinsically linked to speech, and that by incorporating appropriate gestures, we can express ourselves more powerfully or verbally. Effective gestures come from the shoulders rather than wrists or elbows, and have a twofold advantage. Not only do they project further across the audience, but they also release tension in the presenter's upper body. Your stance is an open book. The audience can read whether you are confident and comfortable or anxious and afraid. Balance your weight evenly with feet slightly apart and pointing straight ahead. Stillness projects calmness, whereas constant movement or swaying about is an annoying distraction. You can occasionally move around in the space available to you as long as you do so confidently and purposefully to highlight a change in topic, for instance. Lean slightly towards the audience when asking a question or offering a revelation. Facial expressions are vital to effective communications, unfortunately. Public speaking can cause a face to freeze, but the audience relies on facial expression to amplify the meaning of what you say. Voice, too, is a flexible tool that can be used to great advantage. Before your presentation, practice relaxing the voice and finding a lower, more authoritative pitch. Avoid rising into nation at the ends of sentences as it lacks authority. Rather, it sounds that if you are unsure or seeking approval, not at all the impression you want to give. So breathe deeply and enunciate clearly. No more than 2 words. Let us start. A successful presentation without props depend on both content and delivery. Body language must have clear objectives to highlight key points of the discussion and show what you are keen and sincere. Look at individuals to create a close bond. That means eye contact. Match dash to spoken language. Match your gestures, hand, appropriate, effective gestures. Movement of the shoulders is more easily seen and makes the speaker more relaxed. Standing still shows your calmness, although some movement is acceptable at appropriate times, like changing the topic. Use facial expressions to enforce meaning and lower the pitch of your voice in order to sound more authoritative. Now we have another text, job specification, that is public relation manager, job specification. So what is the job description in this job specification? To develop and manage public relations programs to create and support a positive corporate public image. What will be the duties and tasks? Identify principal clients and stakeholders and determine the most effective means of transmitting promotional information to them. Write press release, make information available for media kits, develop and keep company internet and intranet pages up to date. Write speeches for company executives and set up interviews for them with the media. Coordinate special events, including sponsorships and promotion of new products with a view to gaining media and public attention. And what will be the activities? Obtain relevant information from various sources, create and sustain collaborative work relationship and constructive liaisons with clients and others outside the company. Communicate with clients and public and government agencies as required. Communications may take the form of face-to-face interactions, telephone conversations, email, letters, instant messages, or memos. Analyze information and explore creative solutions to the problems, and use computer system to enter data and process information. Skills and abilities: public speaking, active speaking, written communication. So public speaking, clarity of articulation and expression is important. Active listening means pay attention, understand the sequence of an argument, ask sensible questions at appropriate times, refrain from interrupting. Then written communication, correct and unambiguous written statements suited to the target audience. Then reading comprehensions, ability to understand all work-related documents. Then critical thinking, that is, use logical and rational methods to weigh up the pros and cons of any given proposal. Originality of ideas, that is, ability to come up with a number of novel, extraordinary, or ingenious approaches to solving problems. Then decision making, use good judgment to make well-considered decision before taking action. Then negotiation, use effective mediation skills, reconcile the differences. The knowledge and experience of education, university degree in a relevant field, that is preferably postgraduate, proficiency in English language and a foreign, that is non-English language, media, that is dissemination techniques for written, spoken, visual media, and administration, clerical systems and office procedures. So again, no more than 3 words. We'll start with the 22nd. To promote a favorable public image of the company, duties and tasks include deciding on the best way to communicate promotional information, that is PI, to interested parties, writing speeches and statements for the media, managing special events to raise the profile of the company, gathering information, maintaining positive relationships, interacting with others in person, in writing, or by the way of telephone conversations, computing. Then clear about skill abilities. This must include clear oral and written communication, understanding others, identifying strength and weaknesses of your any proposal, PAP, thinking of many new ways of handling difficult situations, and resolving disputes through your mediation, effective mediation skill. Effective mediation will be good. Then experience and education include university degree, English and foreign language, media on types, administration, and office systems. Now coming to section 3, this is bioremediation. Bioremediation, a natural way to clean up indoor air contaminants. So global energy needs will probably increase by 30% over the next 10 years, and at present 40% of the world's energy is consumed by buildings. One way to make buildings more energy efficient is to insulate them and minimize fresh air exchange. However, reduced air circulation causes a phenomenon known as sick building syndrome when combined with the volatile organic compounds, that is VOC, emitted by modern materials used in office blocks, furnishings, and high-tech equipment, along with human bioeffluents. Eye irritation, skin rashes, sinus and respiratory problems, headaches and drowsiness are common symptoms. These VOCs, that is volatile organic compounds, are not only noxious but carcinogenic, with long-term exposure heightening one's risk of cancer. Then an environmental scientist, Dr. Bill, working for the National Aeronautics Space Administration, that is NASA, came up with a solution. If a man is to move into closed environments on Earth or in space, he must take along nature's life support system, in other words, plants. Early experiments were conducted in the biohome, an airtight habitat constructed entirely of synthetic materials designed for one person to live in. Before Wolverton introduced houseplants into the environment, it was uninhabitable because of the poor air quality. Anyone entering suffered burning eyes and breathing difficulties. Then Wolverton found that apart from absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing oxygen, as all plants do, some plants are able to remove considerable amounts of VOC. So they do this by absorption through tiny openings, that is stomata, on their leaves. But roots and microorganisms living in the potting soil or other growing medium are also important in the removal of toxins from the air. Most of the plants used by Wolverton originated in the understory of subtropical or tropical forest, with a particular leaf composition enabling them to photosynthesize to reduce sunlight. This ability is what allows them to thrive indoors away from the direct sunshine, and over largest plant for approximately every 10 square meters of home or office space is suggested as an operational ratio. Thus, a strategy of using indoor plants as an air purifiers has not been widely endorsed back because of the lack of quantifiable outcomes. This could be changing, however. Recent studies at the University of Technology in Sydney have shown that uh, these certain plants on Wolverton list, namely this plants DV, will speak the short form, Janet Craig and the Peace Lily SW, reduce pollution levels to negligible levels when placed in office with high quantity of VOCs. Then, building on the NASA's experiments with the help of Indian Institute of Technology and Energy and Resource Institute, Kamal Miatal of New Delhi has trialed several of Wolverton's recommendation plant species at his workspace. He used 1,200 plants for 300 occupants, four ways to shoulder high plants per person, in a 20-year-old building measuring some 4,600 square meter. Results for this experiment showed elevated blood oxygen levels in occupants and reduced incidences of eye irritation, as well as marked reduction in respiratory system disorders and headaches. Since the installation of the plants, the labor force has increased productivity by over 20%, and energy requirement for the building have been reduced by 15%. For his study, he used the archaea palm, the snake plant, or mother-in-law's tongue, and the money plant, golden photos. The archaea plant, that is CL, native of the island of Madagascar, has a smooth silver-green trunk and this feathery-shaped fronds. A sensitive plant, it needs year-round care with the right amount of bright but indirect light. The soil should be kept a little moist in spring and summer, but allowed to dry slightly in autumn and winter. The arcana favors a snug container. The crowded root system will limit size of the palm. If unrestricted, it may grow as tall as 6 meters. So the arcana plant palm has been proven effective in the removal of toluene. So toluene, the new carpet paints and varnishes, and xylene, this is the potent neurotoxin found in markers pen, paints, and varnishes. The snake plant is an evergreen perennial species, originally a resident of tropical West of Africa. Its stiff vertical leaves extend up to a meter in length. It is more tolerant of irregular watering and low light levels than the Erica palm. Meatel notes that it would ideally placed in bedrooms because it is nocturnal oxygenator. It also does a good job of absorbing benzene, a commonly used solvent in oil, paint, plastics, and rubber. Trichloroethylene, a commercial product with a wide variety of uses, including inks, paints, and adhesives. And formaldehyde, that is, in addition to toluene and xylene. Formaldehyde is a pervasive and abundant chemical found in numerous paper products, particle board, plywood, synthetic fabrics, carpet, cigarette smoke, and heating and cooling fuels. So the money plant, EA, is indigenous to French Polynesia. This evergreen vine is very hardy plant but highly invasive if it takes root out of doors. It is easy and undemanding plant to care for, equally comfortable in bright and low light, nutrient poor and nutrient rich soil. It can even be grown in a jar of water. Unfortunately, its leaves are poisonous to cats, dogs, and children, and even the sap from the plant may cause a rash in people with sensitive skins. However, it is extremely efficient at filtering all the same pollutant as the snake plant, except for trichloroethylene. Then popular minimalistic architecture mostly did away with indoor plants, but as a result of research by Dr. Wolverton and others, they are making a comeback. After all, in the words of Margaret Burchett of the University of Technology in Sydney, potted plants can provide an efficient, self-regulating, low-cost, sustainable bioremediation system for indoor air pollution. Plants have even more in their favor. They balance indoor humidity, are pleasing to the eye, and according to recently published article, plants relieve physiological stress and negative physiological symptoms. Now, moving forward to the questions, we have to mark the paragraphs in front of these sentences or statements. So first is measuring effects of bioremediation on workers. This was told in E. How plants cleanse the air. This was being discussed in C. Research which tested the bioremediation effects of two different plant species. This was in D. An experimental facility that was initially unfit to live in. That was in B. A condition affecting office workers, 32, that was in A. Now, and these are the statement and these are the plants or plant species we have to match. Write the correct letter, so we'll match. It is robust. Which one is robust? 33. C. Money plant is robust. It prefers a tight fitting spot. 34 is our areca palm. It easily earns other plants in an outside environment. 35 again is money plant. It releases oxygen at night, that is why it should be in your bedroom. 36 is your snake plant. It is delicate. 37 is delicate, so this is areca palm. It is harmful for infants and some adults. 38 is your money plant. It has leaves that grow straight up, that is your 39th would be snake plant. Then choose the correct letter A, B, C, D. Write the answer in 40, question 40. So, which of the following ideas is not mentioned in the last paragraph of the passage? Indoor plants improve air quality. No. Indoor plants need regular care. Yeah, this is correct. Indoor plants are pleasant to look at. No. Indoor plants are beneficial for the body and mind. So, the best would be B. So, answer would be B. So, this was our answer or reading of General Training Module Practice Test 6. Thank you so much. Take care.